Ever played a game that left you wondering why it never got the spotlight it deserved? Some of the best games are hidden gems, overlooked, underrated, and waiting to be discovered. Here are 26 of the most underrated video games that might just become your new favorites. Number 26. Aliens: Dark Descent, 2023. Released in 2023, Aliens: Dark Descent is a real-time tactical game set in the Aliens universe. Unlike the typical first-person shooters associated with the franchise, this game focuses on squad-based combat, strategy, and survival horror elements. Players control a squad of Marines tasked with containing a xenomorph outbreak while managing resources and the mental stability of their team. Its dark, atmospheric environments and intense combat sequences deliver a fresh take on the Aliens franchise. What makes Aliens: Dark Descent stand out is its blend of tactical gameplay and survival horror. The game demands strategic thinking as players balance risk and reward in every mission. The permadeath mechanic adds tension, while the unpredictable enemy AI ensures no two encounters feel the same. Fans of the Aliens lore will appreciate the detailed world building, which pays homage to the movies while expanding the universe in surprising ways. Number 25. Sleeping Dogs, 2012. Set in the vibrant, bustling streets of Hong Kong, Sleeping Dogs is an open-world action-adventure game that puts players in the shoes of Wei Shen, an undercover cop tasked with infiltrating the notorious triads. Released in 2012, the game combines intense martial arts combat, parkour, and a gripping story inspired by Hong Kong crime dramas. Its richly detailed world and cinematic narrative set it apart from other open-world games of its time. The game's hand-to-hand combat system is one of its best features, blending fluid martial arts moves with environmental takedowns. Players can engage in high-speed chases, participate in street races, and explore Hong Kong's many districts. Though it didn't receive the recognition it deserved at launch, Sleeping Dogs has gained a dedicated cult following for its unique blend of storytelling and action-packed gameplay. Number 24. Mad Max, 2015. Based on the post-apocalyptic Mad Max universe, this 2015 action-adventure game offers an open-world experience filled with vehicular combat, survival mechanics, and brutal melee battles. Players take on the role of Max Rockatansky as he traverses the wasteland in search of fuel, resources, and revenge. The game's emphasis on vehicle customization and intense car combat makes it a must-play for fans of the franchise. One of the game's standout features is its vast, desolate open world filled with deadly enemies and hidden secrets. The magnum opus, Max's customizable car, plays a central role in both combat and exploration, providing a unique gameplay dynamic. Despite being overshadowed by other open-world releases at the time, Mad Max stands as a highly polished and immersive experience with a gritty atmosphere that perfectly captures the essence of the movies. Number 23. Batman: Arkham Origins, 2013. Serving as a prequel to the critically acclaimed Arkham series, Batman. Arkham Origins delves into the Dark Knight's early years as he faces off against deadly assassins hired by Black Mask. Released in 2013, the game retains the franchise's signature free-flow combat and detective elements while introducing a darker, more personal story. While it didn't receive the same praise as Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, Arkham Origins offers a compelling narrative that explores Batman's initial encounters with key villains like Joker and Deathstroke. The snowy, atmospheric Gotham City is beautifully designed, and the boss fights, especially the one with Deathstroke, are some of the best in the series. Fans who skipped this entry missed out on a crucial chapter in the Arkham saga. Number 22. Sunset Overdrive, 2014. Sunset Overdrive is a fast-paced, chaotic open-world game that takes place in a colorful, post-apocalyptic city overrun by mutants. Developed by Insomniac Games and released in 2014, it stands out with its vibrant art style, wacky weapons, and emphasis on agility and parkour. Players can grind on rails, bounce off cars, and unleash ridiculous firepower to survive the mutant outbreak. The game's humor and playful tone set it apart from other post-apocalyptic titles. Customization options for characters are extensive, and the fluid movement mechanics make traversing the city an absolute blast. Unfortunately, Sunset Overdrive didn't receive the mainstream success it deserved, but it remains a hidden gem that rewards players who crave something different from the usual serious tone of open-world games.
Number 21, Titanfall 2, 2016. Released in 2016, Titanfall 2 is a first-person shooter that masterfully combines fast-paced infantry combat with giant mech battles. Unlike its predecessor, it features a single-player campaign that is widely regarded as one of the best in the genre. Players control a pilot and their Titan, BT-7274, as they navigate through a gripping story full of surprising twists and creative level design. The campaign's standout level, Effect and Cause, lets players switch between two timelines in real time, creating a mind-bending gameplay experience. The multiplayer is equally impressive, offering a blend of parkour-like movement and large-scale battles with Titans. Despite being overshadowed by other major releases at launch, Titanfall 2 has since earned a reputation as one of the most polished and innovative shooters ever made. Number 20. Guardians of the Galaxy, 2021. Guardians of the Galaxy is an action-adventure game that puts players in the role of Star-Lord as they lead the ragtag team of misfits on a mission to save the galaxy. Developed by Eidos Montreal, the 2021 release focuses heavily on narrative and character development, delivering an emotional story filled with humor and heart. Unlike other Marvel games, this title stands out for its decision-based dialogue system and strong emphasis on teamwork. Players can give commands to their teammates during combat, creating dynamic and strategic gameplay. The game's soundtrack, packed with 80s hits, adds another layer of charm, making it a must-play for fans of the Marvel Universe. Number 19. Prey, 2017. Prey is a first-person sci-fi thriller set aboard the space station Talos Wars, where players take on the role of Morgan Yu, a scientist trying to survive an alien outbreak. Released in 2017 by Arcane Studios, the game combines survival horror with immersive sim elements, giving players freedom in how they explore and solve problems. Its haunting atmosphere and intricate level design are reminiscent of classics like BioShock and System Shock. One of Prey's defining features is its deep, emergent gameplay. Players can choose to engage enemies head-on, stealthily avoid them, or creatively use the environment to their advantage. The game also introduces unique mechanics like the ability to mimic objects, a lamp or coffee cup for example, to evade detection. With multiple endings and a rich narrative, Prey is a complex and rewarding experience that went underappreciated at launch. Number 18. Days Gone, 2019. Set in a post-apocalyptic Oregon, Days Gone follows Deacon St. John, a drifter and bounty hunter trying to survive in a world overrun by freakers, infected creatures similar to zombies. Released in 2019 by Bend Studio, the game offers an open-world experience filled with dynamic weather, dangerous enemies, and emotional storytelling. One of the game's most impressive features is its horde mechanic, where hundreds of freakers can swarm players, creating heart-pounding moments of survival. The detailed world building and Deacon's personal story of loss and redemption add emotional depth to the game. Despite initial mixed reviews, Days Gone has since found a loyal fanbase and is now considered a hidden gem in the open-world genre. Number 17. Spec Ops: The Line, 2012. At first glance, Spec Ops: The Line appears to be a typical third-person military shooter. However, its gripping, morally complex story sets it apart. Released in 2012, the game is a modern reimagining of Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, placing players in the shoes of Captain Martin Walker as he descends into madness while leading his squad in a disaster-stricken Dubai. The game is famous for its brutal storytelling and the way it forces players to confront the consequences of their actions. Each choice leads to increasingly dark outcomes, and the psychological toll it takes on the protagonist is reflected in the gameplay. Spec Ops: The Line remains a powerful example of how video games can tell emotionally impactful stories, even if it flew under the radar for many players. Number 16. Singularity, 2010. Singularity is a sci-fi first-person shooter that blends time manipulation with classic shooting mechanics. Released in 2010 by Raven Software, the game centers around the discovery of E99, a mysterious element that allows players to manipulate time. The story takes place on a mysterious Soviet island where time has fractured reality, leading to some truly creative gameplay scenarios. The time manipulation device, TMD, is the game's standout feature, letting players age or revert objects and enemies in real time. Whether you're turning rusted staircases back to their original state or rapidly aging enemies into dust, the mechanic adds a unique twist to combat and puzzle solving. Although it didn't get much attention upon release, Singularity has since become a cult favorite among shooter enthusiasts. Number 15. Mirror's Edge, 2008. Mirror's Edge is a first-person parkour adventure that revolutionized movement in gaming. Released in 2008 by Dice, players take on the role of Faith Connors, a runner who navigates a dystopian cityscape by leaping across rooftops, sliding under obstacles, and performing daring acrobatics. Its minimalist aesthetic and vibrant color palette make it visually distinct. The game's focus on momentum-based movement creates a thrilling sense of speed and flow. Unlike traditional first-person games, combat takes a backseat to traversal, encouraging players to avoid confrontation and rely on agility. While its short length and unconventional gameplay limited its initial success, Mirror's Edge has grown into a beloved title, praised for its innovation and style. Number 14. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, 2016. A sequel to Deus Ex: Human Revolution, Mankind Divided takes players to a cyberpunk future where augmented humans are oppressed and discriminated against. Released in 2016, the game puts players back in the role of Adam Jensen, a cybernetically enhanced operative caught in a global conspiracy. It offers a deep, immersive world filled with branching narratives and multiple ways to approach each mission. What makes Mankind Divided special is its freedom of choice. Players can go full stealth, engage in combat, or use a mix of both, thanks to Jensen's wide array of augmentations. The Prague setting is richly detailed, and side missions often rival the main story in terms of depth and complexity. While some criticized its abrupt ending, Mankind Divided remains a highly polished and ambitious title. Number 13. Prince of Persia: Warrior Within, 2004. Prince of Persia: Warrior Within takes a darker, more mature approach compared to its predecessor, The Sands of Time. Released in 2004 by Ubisoft, the game follows the prince as he's hunted by a terrifying entity known as the Dahaka, a guardian of fate determined to erase him from existence. This darker tone is reflected in both the narrative and the game's visual style. Warrior Within is known for its refined combat system, which allows players to wield multiple weapons and execute brutal combos. The game also maintains the acrobatic platforming that made the series famous, with intricate puzzles and parkour sequences. Its non-linear exploration and multiple endings give it replay value, making it a favorite among fans despite its initial mixed reception. Number 12. Quantum Break, 2016. Quantum Break is a unique blend of video game and live-action TV show, created by Remedy Entertainment and released in 2016. Players control Jack Joyce, who gains time-manipulating abilities after a failed time travel experiment. The game's narrative unfolds in both gameplay and live-action episodes, with player choices influencing the story's outcome. The game's standout feature is its time-based powers, which allow players to freeze enemies, create time shields, and teleport short distances. The visual effects during time distortions are stunning, adding a cinematic flair to the action. While its experimental format divided critics, Quantum Break is praised for its ambitious storytelling and top-tier visuals. Number 11. Nex Machina, 2017. Nex Machina is an arcade-style twin-stick shooter developed by Housemarque, the studio behind Resogun. Released in 2017, the game draws inspiration from retro classics like Robotron 2084, offering fast-paced action and a high degree of challenge. It focuses on saving humans while blasting through waves of robotic enemies across neon-lit levels. The game's tight controls and smooth gameplay are complemented by an addictive scoring system that rewards precision and speed. Co-op mode enhances the experience, making it even more fun with a friend. Though it didn't receive mainstream attention, Nex Machina is a must-play for fans of old-school arcade shooters. Number 10. Jade Empire, 2005. Developed by BioWare, Jade Empire is an action RPG set in a world inspired by Chinese mythology. Released in 2005, the game lets players take on the role of a martial artist destined to save the Empire from a rising evil. Unlike BioWare's other RPGs like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, Jade Empire focuses heavily on real-time combat. The game's best feature is its unique martial arts-based combat system, which combines melee attacks, magic, and transformation abilities. Jade Empire also offers multiple endings based on the player's moral choices, adding replay value. Its beautifully crafted world and engaging story make it a standout title, despite being somewhat overlooked in BioWare's catalog. Number 9. Astral Chain, 2019. Astral Chain is an action-adventure game developed by Platinum Games and released for the Nintendo Switch in 2019. Set in a futuristic city threatened by interdimensional creatures called Chimera, players take on the role of a police officer in the Neuron Task Force, partnered with a living weapon called a Legion. The game combines detective work with intense combat. The dual-character combat system is Astral Chain's defining feature. Players control both their character and the Legion simultaneously, creating complex and visually stunning combat sequences. The game's stylish design and fast-paced action are trademarks of Platinum Games, and it received critical acclaim, though it remains underappreciated by the broader gaming audience. Number 8. The Evil Within 2, 2017. The Evil Within 2, developed by Tango Gameworks and released in 2017, is a survival horror game that improves on nearly every aspect of its predecessor. Players once again step into the shoes of Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who must enter a twisted alternate reality called STEM to rescue his daughter. This time, the game offers a more open-world structure, allowing players to explore Union, a crumbling town filled with grotesque creatures and psychological horrors. One of the game's strongest features is its blend of survival horror and psychological thriller elements. The Evil Within 2 masterfully balances moments of intense action with slower, dread-filled exploration. Resource management plays a crucial role, forcing players to carefully consider every encounter. The game also offers multiple ways to approach situations, whether through stealth, direct combat, or strategic avoidance, making it more accessible to a broader range of players while maintaining its horror roots. The emotional depth of the story is another standout, focusing on themes of loss, redemption, and the lengths a father will go to for his child. Combined with its striking visual design and nerve-wracking atmosphere, The Evil Within 2 is a must-play for any horror fan, and a prime example of how to evolve a franchise while staying true to its core identity. Number 7. The Saboteur, 2009. The Saboteur is an open-world action-adventure game set during World War II, developed by Pandemic Studios and released in 2009. Players step into the shoes of Sean Devlin, a hard-drinking Irish race car driver turned resistance fighter, battling the Nazi occupation in Paris. The game's striking visual style uses black and white to depict occupied areas, with color returning as players liberate the city. Its mix of stealth, combat, and parkour makes gameplay varied and engaging. The game also features a dynamic open world filled with missions, sabotage opportunities, and unique side activities. Though it didn't get the recognition it deserved, the Saboteur stands out for its unique setting and artistic style. Number 6. Absolver, 2017. Absolver, developed by Slowclap and released in 2017, is a martial arts-focused action game that blends online multiplayer with a deep, customizable combat system. Set in the mysterious, ruined world of Adao, players assume the role of a prospect, tasked with proving their worth to join the elite ranks of Absolvers. The game emphasizes hand-to-hand combat and player skill over flashy graphics or complex narratives. The standout feature of Absolver is its customizable combat deck, allowing players to create their own unique fighting style by mixing different attacks and defensive maneuvers. The seamless multiplayer integration enables players to engage in duels, form alliances, or learn new techniques from one another. Its artistic design and challenging gameplay make it a hidden gem for martial arts enthusiasts. Number 5. Immortals Fenyx Rising, 2020. Immortals Fenyx Rising is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft, released in 2020. Set in a whimsical version of Greek mythology, players control Fenyx, a demigod tasked with saving the gods from the monstrous Typhon. With its vibrant art style and lighthearted tone, the game is often compared to The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild, but it carves its own identity. The game's best features include its vast open world filled with puzzles, challenges, and combat against mythological creatures like Gorgons and Cyclops. The witty narration by Zeus and Prometheus adds humor, while the flexible character progression system allows players to tailor Fenyx's abilities to their preferred playstyle. Despite initial skepticism, Immortals: Fenyx Rising won over many with its charm and engaging gameplay. Number 4. Mercenaries 2: World in Flames, 2008. Mercenaries 2: World in Flames is an explosive open-world action game developed by Pandemic Studios and released in 2008. Set in a fictionalized version of Venezuela, players take on the role of a mercenary seeking revenge and fortune in a war-torn country. The game offers a chaotic sandbox experience with a focus on destruction and military combat. The most notable feature of Mercenaries 2 is its fully destructible environment. Players can call in airstrikes, hijack vehicles, and wreak havoc across the map. Its co-op mode allows for even more mayhem with friends. While it received mixed reviews at launch, it has since gained a cult following for its over-the-top action and freedom of choice. Another standout element of the game is its sheer variety of missions and contracts, allowing players to approach objectives with total freedom. Whether taking out enemy bases, rescuing hostages, or sabotaging oil refineries, players can employ a wide arsenal of weapons and vehicles to complete their goals. The game's blend of humor and mayhem makes it a unique entry in the open-world genre, offering an experience that feels both chaotic and exhilarating. Number 3. The Surge, 2017. The Surge, developed by Deck 13 and released in 2017, is a sci-fi action RPG set in a dystopian future where technology has spiraled out of control. Players control Warren, a man outfitted with an industrial exosuit who must survive in a brutal world filled with rogue machines and hostile ex-employees of the CREO Corporation. The game's combat and crafting systems are its defining features. Unlike traditional RPGs, the Surge allows players to target specific body parts of enemies, which determines the loot they receive. This risk-reward system adds depth to the gameplay, encouraging strategic thinking. The game's atmospheric world and challenging combat have drawn comparisons to the Dark Souls series, earning it praise from hardcore gamers. What sets the Surge apart is its deep lore and environmental storytelling. As players explore the CREO facility, they uncover the dark secrets behind the company's collapse and the human cost of its technological ambitions. The gritty industrial design of the game world perfectly complements the story's themes of corporate greed and human desperation. Combined with a tough yet rewarding gameplay loop, The Surge delivers an unforgettable experience for fans of action RPGs and sci-fi dystopias. Number 2. Vanquish, 2010. Developed by Platinum Games and released in 2010, Vanquish is a fast-paced third-person shooter that pushes the genre to its limits. Directed by Shinji Mikami, the game is set in a futuristic world where players control Sam Gideon, a DARPA agent equipped with a high-tech combat suit that enhances speed and agility. The game's best feature is its high-speed, acrobatic combat. Players can slide across the battlefield at breakneck speeds, dodging bullets and delivering devastating attacks. The slow-motion mechanic during near-death moments adds a cinematic touch to the gameplay. Though Vanquish didn't receive the attention it deserved at launch, it's now regarded as one of the most innovative shooters of its time. Number 1. Returnal, 2021. Returnal, developed by Housemarque and released in 2021, is a roguelike third-person shooter that blends sci-fi horror with fast-paced action. Players take on the role of Celine, a space explorer trapped in a time loop on a mysterious alien planet. Each death resets the world, forcing players to adapt and survive in an ever-changing environment. The game's procedural generation ensures no two runs are the same, keeping the experience fresh and unpredictable. Returnal is also lauded for its fluid combat, combining bullet hell elements with responsive shooting mechanics. Its haunting atmosphere, gripping story, and challenging gameplay make it a standout title on the PlayStation 5, cementing Housemarque's reputation for excellence. Another standout feature of Returnal is its unique blend of psychological horror and narrative depth. The game dives deep into Celine's past, revealing fragments of her troubled life through haunting flashbacks and cryptic house sequences that blur the line between reality and memory. This emotional storytelling, paired with the relentless difficulty, creates an intense experience that keeps players on edge while constantly pushing them to uncover the truth hidden within the planet's mysterious cycle. Those were 26 of the most underrated video games of all time. Which one surprised you the most? Did we miss any hidden gems? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the list, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome gaming content, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. See you next time.